tell me again. This is all what you can tell me, but tell me whereabouts you are.
Well, I'm close enough to close enough to the destruction and the sound of explosions. That's for sure. It's hard to it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell you where I am at this time, but I'm at a place where we're training with the Defense Force and the Army. We're training locals to defend themselves. Really, we're running through Army drills and defense drills, assault tactics, basically basic survival skills. But like I said, they only get about 3 days to do this, and then the next group comes in. Quite a few people here.
And I want to talk a lot about stuff depending on how much time you have. But tell me, we'll be all over the map here. But how is it going over there?
Right now, right here, this is actually all right. This seems to be a pretty safe place. But like I said, it seems that logistics been watching the movements of lots of people here, the monsters. They've been kind of moving around and getting regrouping and starting to move around quite a bit. So whether we're in the path of their way or not, it's yet to be determined. But it sounds like there is going to be another move. So everybody's kind of on high alert here a little bit. It's one of these things where it's just I can't say enough. These people are happy, and the morale is absolutely phenomenal. And me being here, which I didn't think it would make much of a difference, but they've really taken me in. They've listened to me. We've been able to come together with a plan with our Canadian military, the way they trained me, and the way they are trained, and we've kind of put together a bit of a package in a short amount of time to make sure that these locals are able to defend themselves. It's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's kind of odd that NATO said. I remember watching the news before I came down here in NATO countries and the American news, and a lot they were saying that they were supporting and gearing up a lot of their defense force. Now I know their army is geared up, and they have to be, but a lot of the news channels are saying that they are supplying a lot to the defense force, which is definitely not true. I'm right here in a spot where these people are making their own plates, making their own vests. Now they are making them, but are they good? Not really.
Tell me, explain though that people might not know what a plate is. So explain that a little bit, James.
Well, plate's a piece of body armor that goes over. Like NATO has issued body armors and vests with Gore-Tex and a frag vest. So it's basically a all-in-one unit that actually will stop. It covers your vitals. It'll stop a bullet at point blank. Actually, the ones that all the NATO countries have. And when they're sending stuff down here, and they're sending down weapons of mass destruction, and they're sending down stuff, they are getting them, but they're not getting enough. When it comes down to like really equipping these people to defend their cities, to defend themselves, it's really not here. There's a lot of people and my friend Alex down here, he's been driving back and forth to the border. He's been getting trucks shipped in from Spain. He's been getting different kinds of steel from different countries just to come in here and test these places to make sure that these guys actually have the equipment they need. And it's weird. You wouldn't think that people here, you think they'd be scared and terrified, but they're really not. They're ready to go. These people have actually surprised me since day one. This is why I fell in love with these people. These people have the determination, the courage, the heart, and they're coming together. And they're coming together in a short amount of time and making things work. And I can't say enough about that. Like I said, I don't even think our country would be ready as well as these locals are. Now their army, our army's not the biggest in Canada, but I know our locals, we would do anything to defend our country, but not like this. These guys are really pulling out all the stops, and they're doing it. They're absolutely doing it. When I say like bullets wise, like most of the guys down here in the magazine, they have 2 magazines. That's all they have. That's 60 bullets. 60 bullets to defend themselves against the monster Russia, and they're going to be geared up with at least 5, 10, 15 mags, times that by 30. And that's what they're going to be coming at. So every shot counts, and that's what we're teaching a lot of these locals. Every shot counts, and you got to make what you got. And they're to believe it or not, after training with these guys and teaching them our ways and teaching them, teaching me their ways. They really accepted me. I've actually ran a class today. Was really well. I really motivated them, and it really felt good. But in the same sense, I don't like having the responsibility. It's just back in my mind that you're going to send these kids, these people that really have only shot a weapon, even in practice, like 5 times never shot before. So are they ready? Do they want to fight? Yeah. So I honestly think that's why, and that's why they will probably take back their country. They will take back the country because of this morale, and it's phenomenal.
There, you're back again. Sorry, I lost you for a second, James. They
That's okay.
before you were training them, were you on the street? Like, what did you see? Did you see like we see the stuff on the news, but did you see it firsthand?
Yeah, and I can't get that out of my head. I went to Lviv. I actually was at the border. I ended up going and watching the locals coming in, and then when I was helping, actually a pastor and another guy bringing down insulin that wanted to get in, we made it in to Ukraine. But on the way on to Ukraine, there was people coming back with women and children. They just wanted to go home, and there were.
Oh, you're breaking up again.
Just as fast as they're coming in. Is that better? Oh, hello.
Yeah, no, I got you. It's just you're breaking up. We're talking halfway around the world, so it's technology. I'm not going to complain. They
No.
So what? Talk a little bit about again, if it doesn't break up, but talk a little bit about what you've seen there. Like, have you seen the burned up tanks? Have you seen, not to go into detail, but have you seen the bodies in the streets?
I've been to Kiev, and I've been to certain areas where, yeah, I've seen it now. I've seen it firsthand, and the thing is, like, you walking by with some military guys and some Ukrainian military, and you're looking down the street and you see bodies just laying on the ground. I've seen a bus all shot up, civilians in it, torched. I've seen bodies in manholes. I've seen I've seen quite a bit. I've seen bodies just laying in the street after. And I could say a lot of this stuff here, they're locals. They're attacking civilians, and it's the truth. It's like I said, I came down here. I didn't want to pick sides. I didn't care about the politics. But as soon as I started seeing this stuff that they're attacking civilians, it just made me sick. I just started to get hurt. But it's a reality. And the reality is that these soldiers of the Russian army they're just ruthless. They're not taking prisoners. And just the info we got down here, whether it be propaganda or not, they are tying people up and shooting them in the back of the head. It is a real thing, and it's not just propaganda. This is a real thing. They are doing this, and they're regrouping to come in. We're not sure what's going to happen. We know they're going to come back in. They're going to come back in a lot harder. So, like I said, it's all people ready, and they are getting ready. And the problem was too little, too late from NATO. Like, these people could have defended themselves if they had actually, in the first month, just mass supplied these people with arms. There's no drinking down here. Nobody's allowed to drink. There's a curfew. People are abiding by the rules and doing everything right by the book so they can survive. It's tough. It is tough. When I say, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, when you see these people, when you talk to these people, like, we see burned out apartment buildings, we see blown up houses, and yet these people still carry on.
They carry on every day. It's just like, I watched a man there. I walked by when I was just a brief time. I was in Kiev, and I looked around, and he was landscaping. I asked one of these guys, he was a French guy, and I said, "What's he doing?" He goes, "Well, why not?" He goes, "He's living his normal life. He's not letting this war bug him. And if they come down to him, he's going to turn around and fire back." And they do. It's I've never seen a country. This is something new. I've never seen a country with the brotherhood and the amount of countries. They were divided before, and I've been told that they were divided before from the previous government. Zelensky got in and really made a change. And this war, really, like, the people that were on the east to the west, they were always getting, now they're together more than ever. I've never seen this before. And like I say, even being part of my unit, and I've had some issues with them, But there is a lot of guys that have each other's backs. But I believe, and I don't want to say it, but I believe that we're too privileged over there, to be honest. After seeing this, and I don't know. I don't really don't know anymore. But I am down here for one reason, and I don't want to leave until I've done as much as I can. But
You said
just
when we
something.
were talking, like texting back and forth, that you don't think that Canada, it might be hard for Canada to survive something like this because we're not as tough as we used to be.
I believe that. I do. After seeing this and being home, like even myself, I was privileged. I would never think that. I would have never thought that something this would ever happen in the world, especially nowadays. But it is happening. And if it was to happen to our country, like I say, I just think we'd be too divided. And you know what? It's an eye opener, and it really should be an eye opener for Canada to say, like, you know, like things need to change. Things need to change for the better. I remember, like I say, I remember back when in the 20s and 30s, and you know, that's when it was still good. It was still the brotherhood was still there. The team was, everyone was for everybody. It was, and then just in the past 20 years, I've noticed, and I've started to realize even now that we're getting more divided and divided, you know, by the minute. It's just, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I don't understand politics. If you look at the whole, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna be political on you, but like having a gas tax right now at this time over when this is happening, all that's going to do is double the gas price, because you know what? Because the gas price is going to go up even the fact that this war is going on. So for Justin Trudeau to honestly add something like that, real silly, all he's doing is milking the people. People are going to afford anything, and I don't know. You see people down here, like none of that stuff matters. There's no money. It's everybody's doing stuff for people. If you need gas, you get it, they'll give it to you. If you need food, they'll give it to you. If you need vests or equipment, they'll make it and give it to you. This is how a country comes together. And like I said, I've never seen nothing like this. I've watched the news. I've kept up on current events. I've seen it with my own eyes, and yeah, it's something to see. The unity, even at this training facility here where we are, I've never been so welcome, and the amount of just being there for people, and like we can joke around here, and they get it. I get it. Like, we can make jokes and laugh and have a good time, but we work hard down here. We work real hard. We do full long days until the curfew. Like this morning was range day, tactical shooting, section attacks, and we're combining our what we know here, and we're basically trying to find a way to keep that wall of lead coming when they come in, and we're coming to it. We're coming to it very quickly. But like I said, there met a bunch of people like that I've met here that are able to listen and put things in practice right away. It's absolutely amazing. I've never, even being in the military, in our training, having new recruits, it takes months for them to get up to be a soldier. These guys, 3 days, it's impossible. But after 3 days, you see the look on these people's faces, you ask them to do something, they know it. They're in this space, and it blows my mind.
And you'd serve with them, you'd trust them by your side in combat, like just like any other soldier here.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I haven't met them very long. I would actually trust more so more of these people, all these people in this building, to have my back, because they know I'll have their back. And there's not one person that will run away. It's reality. Like I said, it's something to see. It's not something you can ever feel or explain. It's just something that it's there. I've made a new family. I have new brothers. It's heartwarming. And if something was to happen, say something does come down through here, or I get into something, I know that guy beside me that I have just met for 10 minutes, he's gonna have my back, because we're both fighting for the same thing.
What I think you're still in the reservists over here, and there might be a little bit of flack. Talk a little bit about that as much as you can, as you're comfortable.
Well, I'm comfortable because after I got my letter from my CEO there stating that I'm not allowed to use the equipment that I brought down, well, I brought down the equipment to save my life. And if he doesn't understand that, that's too bad. I brought what I needed. There's people down here wearing Canadian colors. There's Canadians down here. There's Americans down here. There's French people down here. They're all over the place in different units, helping these Ukrainians fight with or without their country's permission. So and for Canada and my unit, especially not the Canadian military, It's not them, it's just my CO. My CO, the letter he wrote me, and if you can read, it's basically doesn't care about my life. He doesn't care. I didn't care about my well-being. All he cared about was the stuff and me to get home because, and then. But you know what? I wasn't about to ask permission from him. And a real CO, a real leader would have my, have my back. Yes, I might get into trouble. Yes, I know there's policies and procedures, but I would ask you, how you doing? Do you need anything? No, you're a brother of mine. He's supposed to be the guy when, if we had this happen down there, to be in charge of my life. And if he doesn't have the shred of dignity to even ask how I'm doing, instead of asking, you didn't have permission to use this stuff. You're not representing Canada. That's fine. I'm in Ukraine right now. I'm down here with them. If Canada doesn't want me to represent them, that's fine. I didn't ask permission, like I said, to come down here. I came down here because people were dying, and I had a skill that I can use to help them. And it really did make me mad. Just, it's not my unit, like all the guys, all those soldiers in it, and I'm going to say 95% of them are on. I've all talked to them, and they all have my side. It was just our CO, and that guy is supposed to be our leader.
Do you think you'll face charges when you come back?
And it's a good possibility. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll take my punishment. It doesn't matter. I just hope that in our unit, especially our unit, the CO, it would be a good time to get rid of this guy, because when I do come home, I don't even want to be a part of the unit. I don't want to work for that guy. I don't want to go to war if that guy is on my back. He'll end up getting people shot, dead. He'll send him to get slaughtered because he doesn't care about life. And that's what I feel. That's my own opinion. And the good thing about the Canadian policies and procedures, that I can have my own opinion. And I am pretty hurt about that, because our unit is supposed to be a tight-knit brotherhood with good leaders. And there is good leaders in there. I'm not saying it's a bad unit. It's just there's one apple there, and he happens to be the leader of our unit. And I'm not happy with it, but I can't do anything about it. And you know what? He can't do anything about me being down here either. So
any regrets? Any regrets going over?
No, I feel more and more thankful for coming over here and being able to do this, and being able to be a part of something that means something, that really does mean something. I have people asking me about my stories, life stories, and just stuff to bring them up. And every time I talk, and I didn't think the little things I can tell them that would bring them up, and they know they're in a war. People, the second stop I stopped, I was at a coffee shop for 3 days, and that coffee shop was turned into an office for humanitarian supplies, for first aid equipment, this, that, and the medicines. And these people, like I said, they were so accepting. I helped out where I could there. And no, I have no regrets. And if push came to shove, and if something was to happen down here, then I'd fight right beside them. It's just the way it is. This is how I feel. I feel patriotic. I feel better to be Ukrainian right now than I do sometimes to be Canadian.
What do you got there? AK-47?
Yeah, I got my. They arm everybody, so it's gotta have it on us all the time. You gotta sleep with it, and I tell all the new recruits and the people when they're here, you don't leave that gun. It's by your side at all times. So I'm trying to lead by example and not putting it down. I sleep with it. I eat with it. Obviously, it's not loaded. We teach a lot of gun safety here too, but
what are the ages?
Yeah, it's on you at all times.
What are the ages of the guys that you're training?
They range from 15 to 60. A lot of kids, a lot of younger kids in their 20s, really gun-ho to help it out. And then when they start realizing, we start putting them through some things, and they kind of realize, what am I doing? And then you tell them you're fighting for your country. Be proud. And then, like I said, I had a speech the first day I was here, and I just basically told them, I said, I told them I'm here for you guys. I said, no matter whatever happens, I said, I'll be fighting right beside you. And I said, you know what? We together are going to win this war. I said, you have to have that attitude. And a lot of kids have a rough time. A lot of younger ones, the older ones are ready to go. A lot of the younger ones, though, they start to realize what's going on. And and all it takes is a bit of motivation, and you know what? And they're right back. It's their country. They know that, and they're right back at it.
What can we do for you? What can we do for them?
Well, for me, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm okay. I I could use some new toothpaste or something like that, but or maybe some normal toilet paper. But no, I'm pretty good. I'm a survivor. I've always learned how to survive, and I've gone through some pretty rough stuff, and I've always came out of it on top. For these people though, they need equipment. They need equipment. They need plates. They need safety stuff. They need actual helmets. They need night gear or night vision that works. They need stuff that NATO promised that they're not giving. And maybe they are giving to the military. And I have seen some stuff, but I haven't seen much Canadian stuff down here. When Justin Trudeau said he's bringing lethal stuff down, what? And they asked him what it was. Well, what is it? I haven't seen it. I've asked around. Nobody's seen it. When it comes down to non-lethal stuff, they gave us helmets and night vision. I believe they gave us, and half the night vision they have down here is broken. I've used it. It's embarrassing because I've used it and half of them don't even work. So
And is
when
that
it
from
comes down to
Canada?
plates, we have lots of plates. I know we have lots of plates. I know they're expensive. The States have lots of plates, body armor, and tack vests, stuff that's going to save their lives, and they're not giving it up. I don't understand why.
Is the night vision from Canada, or do you know?
They did deliver some night vision. I have seen some stuff I've used before, and even
But
some
the
of the guys
stuff that
look at
was
me and laugh.
broken,
They're like, "What is this?"
but the stuff that was broken, was that from Canada?
Yeah, it was broken, and they could say it was broken on the way over here and blah 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 and all that. But the fact remains, I've used the shit, and I know we have new night vision now, but the older night vision, half the things didn't fucking work. Yeah, pardon my language. Half the things didn't work, and they're sending stuff down here that some work, some don't, some are fuzzy, some are good. So they're really, what are they sending? Like they're sending their junk. It's what it feels like, and that's what these Ukrainian people are saying. They're saying like, "Thank you, Canada. Thank you for your broken whatever. Thank you for whatever." So when Justin Trudeau, he should ask somebody should ask him, what did you send down there, and have a list. It should be transparent because I would love to see it. Because I swear, like when I ask around, I ask a lot of people, what do we send down? What do you got? Nothing. Most of the stuff's from the States, yes. Do they got a lot of it? No. Like I say, when it comes down to 7.62 AK ammo, they're running out of it. They're repacking their ammo as fast as they're shooting it. Some of these guys here only have, like I say, one mag to go practice with. And that's the first time they ever shot a gun. And within 3 days. So they got 30 bullets. There you go. Here's your gun. You know how to use it? Go shoot it. Now we shoot, thousands of rounds in a military career. So I'm sure we can cough up some ammo. Ammo is not cheap. Ammo is pretty cheap.
Yeah. All right. Anything else I should ask while I got you here for now?
Well, it's getting a little late, Pete. I got to get up around 5.
Yeah. What time is it there now?
My day. So I appreciate everything. I say, oh, this is our. I don't know if you seen that picture I sent you of the cat by the grenade. If you got that,
Yeah. What was that all about?
It's a cat they found. They found a cat when they first came here to occupy this place, and there's a little kitten underneath the tire. So one guy brought it in, and it ended up being their mascot. So now we have a unit name. They didn't have a unit name down here. They were thinking of something. So now we have our unit.
That's cool. It's
It's pretty neat. And this cat walks all over this place, and everybody loves him. It's a little bit of smiles and a little bit of it's a little bit of comfort for people too, because it's he's quite the cat. But
so what's the unit name, or can you pronounce
it? Stuff like that, and people wheelie, because I can't say it, and I'm having a rough time with the Ukrainian. But I do have an interpreter that's on me all the time. He's actually one of the leaders down here. He's my fire team partner per se, and he's been beside me the whole time. I've learned a couple words here and there, and he's assured me within the next month, he goes, I'll be able to speak Ukraine.
That's good, James. All right, I won't hold you up. Appreciate this, and hopefully this video works this time. So as I say, hopefully we can do this in the future and connect on things.
For sure. I'll be here for a while, so anytime, Pete.
All right, be safe, brother. Be safe.